After months of rallying in the streets, protesters in Iceland finally get what they want. Their government steps down. We'll talk to an Icelander whose weekly iReports took us inside the story. It's a gathering of some of the most influential minds in the world aimed at tackling tough economic issues. We'll check in with two citizen journalists who won a chance to report on the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
Hello, I am Macintosh. It sure is great to get out of that bag.
It's the 25th anniversary of Apple's Macintosh computer, the ancestor of the iPod and iPhone. We'll share your memories of the original Mac. And that's just a taste of what's to come. iReport for CNN starts now.
Citizen journalists are enhancing our global coverage. We call it iReport. It's fast, first person, easy as click and send. Uplinked in a matter of seconds, you're on the other side of the world. During the next half hour, we'll cross platforms, cross continents, and show stories told by you.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. I'm Errol Barnett. Now, the global financial crisis hit the island nation of Iceland hard last year. For months, there were protests as people were calling for the resignation of government officials. Well, one iReporter by the name of Halldór Sigurdsson was sending us regular video updates documenting his experience there. And now that government officials have stepped down, I reached out to him to see how his country is now coping. Halldór Sigurdsson joins me now via webcam from Reykjavik in Iceland. Halldór, you've sent in a number of videos showing protests there. Tell me how the mood of the country has changed in this past week with the dissolution of the government.
Well, people are still protesting and they are very angry still at the government for not doing what they should be doing, taking the people responsible for this. And when the banks collapsed last year, the same bankers are still controlling them.
How are the protests that have happened here in January compared to the protests back in October when the financial crisis really started to unravel there?
There are more people downtown and the unemployment is rising. So there are more people downtown in front of the parliament building on Saturdays. But recently they have been on a daily basis in front of the parliament and making noise. And last week there was a little fighting between the police and the protesters. But the public does not like that, so the few of the public that were protesting went in front of the police to protect them against the violent protesters. We do not like the violence in the protest. But you are protesting, but you do not agree with the violence in it.
Halldór, how strange is it for you to see these kind of regular protests? Iceland's only a country of about 300,000 people. Is this rare or something that you're used to seeing in your time there?
This is very rare. The first iReport I sent last April when the police were taking the truck drivers because of the oil prices. That was just shocking, seeing police fighting the public. There have always been union strikes and all that, but this is very rare on a regular basis. And you're seeing this, and it's not still stopping or slowing down. It's escalating.
Halldór Sigurdsson joining me from Reykjavik in Iceland via webcam. I appreciate your uploads. Thanks for your time as well.
Okay.
Check out this video of a scuffle outside of a courthouse in Taipei City in Taiwan. Let me tell you the deal. This was during a pre-trial hearing for their former head of state, Mr. Chen Shui-bian. He's now in a detention center facing charges. Prosecutors allege that he embezzled hundreds of millions of Taiwanese dollars, he took bribes, and even took classified documents out of the presidential office. He and his many supporters maintain his innocence and say, hey, all of these charges are politically motivated. So I decided to reach out to the iReporter that sent in this video to see how regular people in Taiwan are reacting to this high-profile case. iReporter Neil Moore joins me now via webcam from Vancouver Island in Canada, but he's going to talk to me about his iReport when you captured quite a scene while in Taipei City, Taiwan. Neil, tell me about what it was like this day while the former president had this pre-trial hearing.
Yeah, the press were not allowed inside of the courthouse, and so the local press were all gathered outside, and then you had the riot police as well. It was actually rather quiet at first. As I walked by my first time to get some opening shots, I was actually pursued by the local media. I became the story, so I was able to interview some people on the outskirts of the courthouse there.
Now, Chen was president there for 8 years. That's a long time to have ruled, 2 terms, and it seemed as though this trial has really riled up emotions on both sides. You even captured a bit of a scuffle, which we're seeing right now, outside of the courthouse. What were people saying?
Right, folks really are riled up on both sides. Chen Shui-bian is a firebrand politician, and you have this case really is a benchmark case for a number of reasons. First of all, it represents a struggle for the future of the DPP as we know it, as well as the pro-independence movement in Taiwan.
That's of course the Democratic Progressive Party still has a lot of support there in Taiwan.
It does, yes, very much so. And you get people who really do follow Chen Shui-bian, and he does have quite a bit of support in Taiwan.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate your uploads. Keep sending them in. That's Neil Moore joining me from Vancouver Island in Canada, talking about his iReport sent in from Taiwan. Former President Chen Shui-bian's next trial date is scheduled for February 24th. We're going to keep an eye on the story, and if you have any opinions on what's happening there, feel free to upload it to ireport.com. All right, now we're going to head to a break, but when we come back, I'm going to reach out to 2 citizen journalists who were able to get an all-expenses-paid trip to Davos, Switzerland. Find out how next.